Hey boys and girls, welcome back to the table. So today it is actually so cloudy outside at my house that I can't turn my camera the regular way on my table. So we are going to be facing a different direction. You get a view of my game shelf back here. But today is actually a great day to do this project because it's cloudy and it's rainy and it's April. And we are going to be doing a project that I like to do with my kindergarten friends every year that is called April showers. You guys ever heard the expression April showers bring May flowers? Yeah, and that's what this project is based off of. It's going to be a picture of people in umbrellas in the rain, which is going to be really, really fun. Now, just like some of our other projects that we've done, this is going to be a longer project. So I'm going to break it down into steps. So you guys can pause when I complete a step, go do it yourself, and then come back and resume the video when you're ready for the next step. Does that make sense? All right, let's get started. So what you will need for this project today is a piece of paper, some handy dandy crayons, markers if you have them. If not, you can use watercolors or you can just skip this step. That's okay too. Water, we'll figure that out in a minute, and a paintbrush. Put that off to the side and we'll figure out why we need that when we get to the water. You are an older friend and you've already done this and you have a little brother or sister at home, don't spoil the surprise, okay? We're all going to do it together. Even if you've already done this project, you could do it again with some of the new skills that you've learned with crayons as you've gotten older, and it could be a lot of fun still. All right, so step one is going to be drawing some umbrellas, which is actually pretty easy. Let me tilt my camera here so you guys can see what's going on. And you're just going to pick a color to start with. I'm going to choose black. And this project, boys and girls, you want to try not to use those ultra clean washable crayons. If you do, I'm going to color in one of my umbrellas with them on purpose just to show you what happens. If you do, there will be something you can do, but you want to try to just use regular crayons for this. If this is all you have, use this. Make sense? All right, let's move on. Okay, so to make an umbrella, you want to start with a sad face, and then a sad face, and then a sad face for the top of the umbrella. And at the bottom, you give it a wiggle. And usually in art class, when I do this project with you guys, I ask you to do 3 or 4 umbrellas. You can choose how many umbrellas you do at home. And the very bottom of the umbrella is just a J. So the first step is the umbrella. So the next step is we're going to draw our people. And drawing the people is actually pretty easy. First, you have to figure out where they're going to be in the picture. Are they going to be right underneath the umbrella and hunkering down underneath it because they don't want to get wet at all? Or are they going to be playing in the rain? You don't know, or I don't know. It's your project, so you get to choose what is going on with that. And I'm going to have this guy is going to be out from underneath his umbrella because he is just having a good time playing in the rain. And see how I'm doing my shape people? You guys want to make sure you use your shape people too. We're just going to add the shape people for now. And this person, and he'll be a little bit more under his umbrella. He's not as adventurous. And then this person doesn't want to get wet at all. And we're only going to see the very, very top of her bottom of their head. It'll be all scrunched up under the umbrella. Maybe this person is facing us. In fact, they're going to be so scrunched up under the umbrella that they're going to carry it with 2 hands. He's running through the rain. He doesn't want to get wet. All right, so that is step 1, drawing the people, just shape people, and the umbrellas. Remember to start with the umbrellas and add the people underneath. Our next step is going to be coloring, so come back when you're ready for that. All right, so step number 2, like I said, is coloring. So I have my handy dandy tower of crayons here, and I have the crayons that are the washable ones, so I can show you what happens if you use those later. We do not need the markers yet. The markers are actually step 3, so keep those off to the side for now. Yeah, I told you there was going to be a lot of steps today. Did you believe me? I hope so. Right, and this part, we get to color in the people and the umbrellas with our crayon. Tilt us down here. So the trick here is that when you are coloring, you want to color hard and really fill in all of the spaces. Usually when we do coloring in art, I tell you not to push hard because it hurts your hand, right? But on this project, we do want to push hard, because if you don't push hard, our next couple of steps, they're not going to work. Now, if you are skipping the next couple of steps because you don't have markers or watercolors at your house, that's okay. You can just color these in normally then. So I'm going to start by coloring in this person's umbrella. I went out of the lines a little bit. Is that the end of the world? Nope, it is just art class. Let me just keep moving on. In fact, if it really bothers me, I can fix it by maybe adding a border down here. Because we can always fix our mistakes. And that one, I'll just turn it into a point on top of the umbrella. Ha! Fancy! Then I'm going to move on to this guy's outfit. And I want to put a jacket on them since it is raining. So I'm going to come all the way around the shirt. And then I color that in just like I would in art class. And I can hear you guys, Mrs. Hagen, your person doesn't have a face. I'm not done yet. Hold on. I can't snap my fingers and make it happen. I gotta take my time and do my best work. I don't want to rush through it. I mean, you guys can take all the time you need to do this step, because you can just pause the video and come back to it when you are ready for the next step. Kind of like in art class when I say, hey, when we're all done, we can come on back to the carpet. In fact, this project, those of you that remember from kindergarten might remember that this project took us 3 weeks. And so if you only want to do a little bit at a time, that is okay. This is your art time. You use it to the best of your ability. Now, notice that I colored up along the side of his neck right here. And that's because I'm going to give him a hood. To do that, all I did was go swoop around his head and color it in. Oop. That's okay. We'll fix that up later. All right. So there's one part. And if I wanted to add some details to his jacket, I could totally do that. Maybe I add a zipper. Okay, and maybe there's some drawstrings around that part. I could add stripes, I could add polka dots. I'm just fixing up the edges here. Now, kindergarten friends, I know that you don't know the fixing the edges step yet. That's okay. And first grade friends, we had just started to learn this when you guys left school. So it's okay if you don't remember how to do this. But all I'm doing is going right around the edge and redrawing my lines to fix up the lines a little bit and make it look like some of those mistakes happened on purpose. All right, I'm also going to give my person rain boots. And to do that, I just draw a boot shape around their foot and color them in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And do you guys notice how I'm trying to use the same colors on the shoes and the jacket and the umbrella? That's just because I want it to look like my person's outfit matches. Okay, you do not have to do that, but that is a challenge if you would like an extra challenge on this project. I'm still going in and adding those details. I probably have a couple older kids that are saying, Mrs. Hagan, can we do highlights? Can we do shadows? Absolutely. Just like any other project we do in art class, guys, you can add all of those extra things that I have taught you about. All right, now this person needs some pants. So I'm going to add those pants in. And the last step is their skin and their hair. Now, my crayon box is all sorted because you guys know that I like my art supplies a little bit organized if I can. So over here are all of my skin tone colors, because remember, we are all beautiful shades of brown. Even peach we've talked about is a shade of brown. So when we are picking our skin colors, please, 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 do not come over here in your color pile. We are not Lego minifigures, and we are not pumpkin heads. We are all people that are made of beautiful shades of brown. Okay, so I'm going to pick. That finally closed. I've been trying to get that to close for weeks, and it wouldn't stay up, and it wouldn't go back down, and now it just decided to randomly do that. All right, there we go. I'm going to choose this color. So I'll color in the face. Now I know this is a little backwards from what we usually do in art class. Usually we draw the face and then we color in, but for this project I want you guys to color in and then draw the face after. Where did that black go? There it is. Oop, I can't get it. Here's another one. We'll use this one. And I'm going to give them some hair. Remember, your hair goes partially on your oval. And then you have a choice here. You can draw a face on your person, or you can choose not to add a face to your person. That is totally up to you. Now, I'm not going to make you guys watch me color in all of the people. And so I'm actually going to stop my video here and then come back when I am done. You guys pause and come back when you're done. All right, guys, so now we have our handy dandy colored in, ready to go to the next step picture. Now, in case you were wondering and needed to know, this one is the one that I did with the ultra clean crayons for later, okay? So our next step is we are going to do a quick drawing step and then another coloring step. So for the drawing step, you are going to need your drawing crayon, whatever crayon you're choosing to use for that. And you can do different colors for this step if you want to, in fact. And you're just going to draw a background. I'm actually going to make a sidewalk for my people to be walking on. Then I get to decide where they are. Maybe they're in a park. So I'll grab a green and make a ground line for where the grass is. And then maybe I add a tree. Do we notice how I'm not coloring these in yet? That's going to be very important. So we are not coloring these in with crayons. Now I could add a couple little details in crayons if I wanted to, but I'm not coloring them in crayon. All right, I think this is pretty good for this project today. All right, let's see, double check. Ooh, maybe I could put some hills in the background, and then maybe far away in the background there's a city, just to give some more interest to the picture. All right, so there is my background. Remember, you need a ground line so your people aren't floating in space. And your ground line doesn't come underneath their feet. It comes farther back. And if you want to, you can add an extra ground line to make things look farther away. Now we're going to start coloring. I'll try to get you guys a little bit closer. There we go. That might be a little bit better. You can see a little bit more of my face now. Okay, so now we are going to color in the background, except for the sky. We're not going to color in the sky on this project. Now, if you do not have markers at home and you are doing watercolors, you're going to want to start the next step in watercolor, okay? Now, I am using just regular old Crayola markers. That's all I'm using for this. If you have a different kind of marker at your house, you can use those too. You just want to make sure that you're not using a Sharpie marker or a permanent marker, all right? And now we're starting to get a little bit messy, so make sure that it is okay with your grown-ups before you start getting out stuff that's messy, okay? So I'm just going to use my markers and nicely and neatly start coloring in. Now what's really, really cool is that your markers are water-based and your crayons are wax-based. And wax is kind of like a type of oil, which means if you've ever tried to make salad dressing and you put the vinegar, which is water-based, and your oil together to do it, and then you shake and shake and shake and shake and shake and shake and shake, and it will not mix together. That is the same thing with our marker and our crayon. In fact, I can go right over my crayon and it still shows up. And so if you get a little messy on this, that's okay. But you do still want to stay in the lines the best you can. Okay, so I'm going to color this in green and this in green, and then I'll probably use like a brown for here, and I will color in all of the sections. And again, I am not going to make you guys watch me do that, so you can pause here, go color in with crayon or with marker, I'm sorry. Remember, not the sky though. We're going to do something special up there. Okay, so go ahead and finish coloring in and then come back when you're done. Okay guys, so I actually realized on the last step that I forgot a thing, which you should not forget. We need to draw some raindrops in our April showers picture. So here's what you're going to do that. You're just going to grab a blue crayon, and if you've already colored in your markers, because I already did too, that's okay. If you're choosing to watch the whole video through and then go do the steps, you'll probably want to do this before you do the crayon. Or I'm sorry, before you do the marker. So all you're going to do is grab your crayon, whatever color blue you are choosing to use, and you are going to draw your raindrops any direction that you want them coming from, all over your paper. Because rain doesn't care where it falls down. It goes everywhere. And maybe you make some little raindrops to show that they're really far away. Some bigger raindrops to show that they're up front. Maybe some of the raindrops are coming down in different directions. Okay. So you also want to have raindrops. So Mrs. Hagen forgot a step. Oops. We were able to fix it. So when you are done your crayons and your markers, it's going to look a little bit like this. Now I realize that I also forgot a space there, but that's okay. That won't matter for our next step. And you'll notice that in a couple of places, my marker started to dry out a little bit. It's really obvious down here, but that's okay. You don't need to worry about that for our next step. Our next step is going to be the water step. All right, guys, for the water step, you're going to need a paintbrush. I picked a pretty big paintbrush for this today because it really doesn't matter about staying in the lines, and you're going to need just some regular old water. All I did was get some out of the sink. And one more reminder, make sure that your grown-ups say it's okay to be doing messy things. Okay, so here's all we're going to do. Now we're going to take our paintbrush, get it wet, and then you're just going to start going over top of your whole paper, including the sky, with your water. And what this is doing is it is spreading out all of that color. And what it's going to make it look like is that it's actually raining outside, which is pretty cool. And this step's really fast. I am not going to pause and fast forward to the end because this step, you're just going over the entire thing, which is why I picked a big paintbrush because that made it fast. All right. So here is what happens. So you will notice that in the spaces where it's that extra washable crayon, that person kind of disappeared a little bit. And if you're worried about that, just go around them with your paintbrush instead of right over top. Okay? And there is our finished picture. Actually, kind of looks like it's raining outside, doesn't it? That's pretty cool. All right, guys, you ready to get up at this table? Cool. Go do a thing. River, you're on my project. The kids want to be able to see it. Go, shoot.